Alrighty there, howdy fellow Shadow Priest. I have exciting news for everybody. I have finally made my way into the Wrath of Lich King Arena hype community. So this is my first time playing with decent gear. I would say my gear is good, not great. I'm definitely not even close to being spell pen capped, as well as missing a few key pieces, but overall I've got more than 600 resilience and I don't seem to die instantly anymore, so I thought I would try to record some games and show you my initial thoughts on the expansion and kind of pace of the game and my thoughts on the Shadow Priest content. So very quickly I got into this, like I really don't know what I'm doing. I mean, the DPS rotation seems pretty easy, but there's for sure a lot of things that I need to learn. For example, in this match I learned that Warrior has a 10-second cooldown on Spell Reflect, which seems a little egregious, but you know, something we're gonna adapt to. Yeah, going back to general takes on Shadow Priest so far, very nostalgic. As you see, I just dispelled a Hodge off of my Rogue. Love having that defensive dispel, and it can actually make you more aggressive because we're gonna face teams that have mages or something where, you know, a Rogue would ordinarily get controlled a lot and you can't maintain uptime, and then all of a sudden, boom, I'm there to kind of melt the ice and heat things up, and we're just trying to get out here, be offensive. This comp plays a lot like Disc Priest Rogue, except you have tons of CC and damage. So as you can see, purge the bop, we gouge, set up the fear being on a whatever it is, 24 second cooldown is just so amazing. And we still have mind control, although the cast is extremely long and uncomfortable to actually get off. Our strategy here against two very formidable opponents, might I say, is to shut the Warrior down with stuns, mind control him between the DRs, kite him out, and we just need to get multiple setups. So we get Trinket probably from the Paladin first, and then we get the bubble shortly after, and then this is ultimately going to be our chance to kill him. Put up the dots, Mind Blast. I'm not sure if it's better to Mind Blast first just to get it off cooldown before applying the VT in that situation, but this is all stuff that we're going to figure out along the way. This is, again, my first time playing Wrath of the Lich King Arena, so by no means am I rank 1 Shadow Priest in Wrath, but obviously hopefully my skills from the other expansions will translate. Just love the CC capabilities here. We do the gouge into the fear to set everything up, and then he even cheap shots the healer on an aura mastery, and then to another gouge into another fear, and it's just, oh my god, there's so much CC. It's so much fun to play around. So while we do have lots of CC, our healing seems to be pretty good too. Hate to be like one of those hybrids that just keeps their team alive all game, but there have been matches where we're facing against like whatever Holy Paladin Warrior, and I'll do just as much healing as the Holy Paladin, and maybe that's because we're running a lot and the Paladin isn't forced to heal, but still having abilities like Prayer Mending and Flash Heal. Renew isn't great, but I think it's still worth pressing. It just seems to really keep your team in the game, and especially when you already have a healer on your team and you can just make it that much harder for your opponents to kill you. That is really fun. It seems like on retail right now, Shadow Priests only have utility, they don't have damage. I mean, imagine if I was in a scenario where my role was to 1v1 a shaman on retail. Do you think I would ever kill him? But this is me trying to figure out how to kill Tremor efficiently, and I'm not sure if the auto attacking it is the fastest, but you can, like, I have death Tremor, like if they Tremor as you fear, you can death the totem and it won't go out. But look, I've just been dotting this shaman. My rogue opens on him when he's at like 60% and we just win the game. Like I faked a shear, put my dots up, and all of a sudden the shaman rotted to like 70% and we just killed him. So our damage is definitely there right now, but what really makes this expansion feel fun and engaging is the damage is great, but if you combo it with the threat of your short cooldown on fear, your ability to purge the enemy clean and keep your teammate out of CC, it's really like a snowball effect. If you have all these three things working for you in the right direction, you can gain a ton of momentum and it feels like you can just push people over. So watch, my rogue gets Nova'd, I dispel the Nova, he gets deeped, I instantly dispel a deep. Can we get a replay on that actually? Look how nice that looks, man. Oh my god. But very clearly in this match, I mean, maybe it's not a great example, just the pressure, you get the damage going, you get the purges going, you get the MD going, you get the CC going, and boom, the game's over. And it just feels like aggressive gameplay is rewarded, which ultimately isn't the case on retail right now. I already know that someone's going to say, but Stap, you haven't fought any DKs. That's right, there are no DKs in this video because I'm only putting wins in here, and I do not think I beat a single DK yesterday. They seem to be a major issue. Haven't found out the strat against DK healer. I feel like it's to kill the healer, but you need to play exceptionally well in terms of avoiding damage from the DK, and seeing that they just have 5 trinkets and AMS and gargoyle and just passive diseases and pets that can kill you, it is a little bit of a tough matchup. But anyway, here's a fun matchup. Shadow Priest Rogue versus Priest Rogue. Luckily I see the Rogue and I'm able to fear him out of stealth. The Priest does board the fear, but I silence the Priest to cover the Dispel, and this just gives us the opportunity to set up. And now you can see I'm playing a little bit more like a healer. I'm just like, alright, I'm going to try to negate this kill setup from them, and then we're going to go on the offensive right after my Rogue's disarm. So I'm going to top him up, hop back into Shadow form, and just get some damage going, you know? Oh my god, look at this. Owned him. Game's over. Alright, fine. Here's one DK game. Here's, I think, the strat. Kill the healer. Keep the Rogue out of CC. This Hodge comes off late by me, but I think we still are able to get bubble in this situation. Yeah, the Paladin bubbles. And now Operation Avoid damage from the DK. We do not win this game, keep in mind, but I think this is almost the type of formula that you want to go for. I think maybe my Disperse here could have been saved, it seems like. It doesn't seem like the DK has popped that many cooldowns, but overall really scared of this enemy team. And it's a little awkward because I don't want to just fear the DK while he has the Paladin out of CC, because the Paladin can just dispel it, and then obviously he AMS's, and this is just looking sketchy. This is a situation where maybe a defensive trinket like the Living Ice Crystal or whatever the heal one is would be good. Seems like I'm just having trouble getting away from the gargoyle, and there's no way I'm gonna ever have time to shackle the gargoyle with the amount of interrupts that they have. It's just really sketchy. So we're able to get away for a little bit, get a couple flash heals off. For the DK, gargoyle just kills me behind the pillar. Like, if I was aggressive on the Paladin, maybe had some dots on him, the Paladin would have died earlier, and I could have at least helped my Rogue going into my death. But it just seems hard to avoid damage when, even though he didn't touch me for a very long time, I still died to the gargoyle. So ultimately that's sad. And spoiler, the Rogue loses a 1v1 every time, so bummer. Now obviously we're gonna hit the analytics room, and I'm gonna bust a notepad out, and I'm gonna get really stoned and do some theory crafting, and maybe we'll come up with a strategy on how to beat DKs. I'm not sure if you want to share that publicly, because they could always watch it and adapt, but for now that seems like a good formula. Avoid damage and try to kill the healer as best you can. But like I said, my gear also lacking, so once my gear is better, we can probably try and figure things out. But just a great example of this game on how much CC we have. Like, triple sap into blind and to instantly silence his trinket, and what are they gonna do? You know, like, I'm not able to get interrupted on MD, get the bubble off, just big damn. Yeah, pretty satisfied with how this game is playing right now for me. I can't wait to play more. We'll be playing on stream, so follow twitch.tv/stopsb. This is the first of many Wrath games. I believe we hit 1700 our first night playing, so it's only up from there. Stay tuned, and let me know if you want to see anything else in the comments, or, you know, talk about Wrath strategies or builds, or I don't know, man, just PvP in general. Thank you guys so much for hanging out and watching. We'll see you soon.